Urashima Taro, a Japanese folk tale of time, compassion, and the cost of curiosity. Long ago, in a quiet fishing village by the sea, there lived a kind young fisherman named Urashima Taro. He lived simply, casting his nets each morning and sharing what he caught with those in need. One day, while walking along the shore, Taro saw a group of children cruelly teasing a small sea turtle. The turtle struggled helplessly, its shell scratched and spirit frightened. Moved by compassion, Taro stepped in. He chased the children away, gently picked up the turtle, and released it back into the sea. He thought nothing of it, only that he had done what felt right. The next morning, as he cast his net, a larger turtle surfaced near his boat. To his surprise, it spoke. "Urashima Taro, you saved my life. I am the daughter of the Dragon King of the Sea. Please, come with me to the Dragon Palace beneath the waves." Before Taro could ask how, he was gently carried by the turtle into the depths of the ocean. There, he found a world of wonder, glowing coral, dancing fish, music made of currents and light. In the center stood the Ryugu-jo, the Dragon Palace, its walls made of pearl and jade. The princess welcomed him with kindness. Days passed like moments. There was no hunger, no sorrow, only joy. But after what felt like a few days, Taro grew homesick. He remembered the sea breeze on his face, the sound of gulls, his aging mother, the village he once called home. "I must return," he said gently. The princess nodded, though her eyes were full of sadness. She gave him a box, small and carved with golden waves. "This is a Tamatebako," she said. "Take it with you, but never open it. Promise me." Taro promised, and rowed the turtle back to the surface. But when he arrived on the shore, he saw a world that no longer knew his name. His village was gone, the trees were older, the paths unfamiliar, the people were strangers. He asked about his parents. No one had heard of them. The house he grew up in was dust. Only silence knew his name. Confused and overwhelmed, Taro sat down on a rock near the sea, and forgetting the princess's words, he opened the box. From it, a silver mist rose like breath from the gods. Time, long held at bay, returned all at once. Taro's back bent, his hair turned white, wrinkles carved deep into his skin. In moments, he became an old man. And then the mist vanished, as if it had never been. Reflection. Some say he vanished into the sea, some say he still sits, watching the waves. But all who hear his story remember this. Time cannot be held. Curiosity comes at a cost. And kindness, while fleeting, leaves a mark deeper than the sea.
Have you ever had one of those perfect moments you just wished you could somehow bottle it up forever?
Oh, definitely. Or maybe the opposite, right? After something tough, you find yourself wishing you could just rewind time.
Exactly. Recapture something lost. Or maybe just get back to a happier time. It's this deep, I think, universal human thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
This desire to hit pause, hold on to the good stuff, or just, stop change from happening.
It really is. It feels like more than just a passing thought sometimes. That kind of yearning for things to stay the same or to loop back to the past. It's powerful. It shows up everywhere, across cultures, across time.
Absolutely. And that's actually what brings us to our deep dive today. We're exploring a classic Japanese folktale that really digs into this whole idea, but maybe in ways you wouldn't expect.
We're talking about Urashima Taro.
Right. Now, on the surface, it's this beautiful kind of magical story. Wonder, consequences, it's all there.
But when you start to peel back the layers a bit, it really transforms, doesn't it? It becomes this profound allegory about some really big ideas. Life, time, change.
Yeah. So our mission today isn't just to retell the story. We want to try and uncover some of the surprising insights hidden inside this seemingly simple tale.
And hopefully help you see how it speaks directly to these timeless human experiences we all share. And we're going to do this using just plain, everyday language, no complicated jargon or academic terms needed.
Just a fresh look at an old, much-loved story.
Exactly. So let's set the scene a bit. Picture this. A long, long time ago. A quiet little fishing village right by the sea.
You're going to smell the salt air, right? Hear the gulls. Days just sort of drifting by.
And in this village, there lived a young fisherman. Kind, humble, Urashima Taro.
Taro lived a pretty simple life. Went out fishing, shared what he caught if he had extra. Just a genuinely good soul, it sounds like.
Yeah, just unassuming. And then one day he's walking along the shore, the same shore he walks every day, and he sees something that just doesn't feel right.
He spots these kids, and unfortunately, they're messing with a small sea turtle, teasing it, being quite cruel, actually.
The poor thing is struggling, scared. You can picture it.
And Taro, well, being Taro, he just couldn't walk by. It wasn't in him. He felt this immediate sort of compassion.
So he steps in, gently but firmly tells the kids to knock it off, shoos them away.
Then he carefully picks up the little turtle, probably checks it over, and releases it back into the ocean. Didn't think twice about it, Just did what felt right in the moment.
And that simple act of kindness, that's where the magic starts. The very next morning, Taro's out in his boat, doing his thing, casting his net.
And suddenly this much larger turtle surfaces right next to him, like really large.
And it speaks. To his absolute amazement, the turtle speaks. Its voice apparently sounded like the gentle murmur of the waves.
Wow, okay. And the turtle reveals she's actually the daughter of the Dragon King of the Sea.
She says, "You saved my life yesterday. As thanks, please come with me. Visit the Dragon Palace, Ryuju, beneath the waves."
Before he can even really process this, he's being gently carried down into the ocean depths by this incredible creature.
Imagine that descent, finding yourself in this world of pure wonder. Glowing coral, fish dancing in swirling patterns, music that seems to come from the water itself.
Yeah, right in the middle of it all, the Dragon Palace, Ryuju, made of pearl and jade, shimmering. Just breathtaking.
The dragon princess welcomes him so warmly, so kindly. And inside this underwater paradise, well, the story says days pass like moments.
Sounds like a dream, doesn't it?
Yeah.
No hunger, no sadness, no worries. Just pure joy, day after day.
It really does sound like the perfect escape. And there's always a but in these stories, isn't there?
Yeah.
Even in this perfect place, after what felt to Taro like just a few days, something starts to creep in, something very human.
Homesickness.
Exactly. It starts small, maybe just a fleeting thought, but then it grows stronger.
He starts missing the simple things, right?
Yeah.
The feel of the sea breeze, the sound of the gulls.
Yeah, thinking about his aging mother, the familiar village, the life he knew. Despite the paradise, he realized, gently but firmly, he had to go back.
So he tells the princess.
And she's sad, naturally, but she understands. As he's getting ready to leave, she gives him this small, beautifully carved box, golden waves on it.
The Tamatebako, the jewel box.
That's the one. And she makes him promise, really makes him promise, never, ever open it.
And Taro, caught up in the moment, grateful, probably still a bit dazed by it all, he promises, okay, I won't open it.
Then the turtle carries him back to the surface world, leaving that shimmering palace behind.
So when he gets back to the shore he thought he knew. Oh man, the shock must have been immense.
It's devastating. The world he steps back into doesn't recognize him at all.
His village, gone, just gone. Unfamiliar buildings stand there now.
The trees he remembered are ancient, twisted. The paths are all wrong. The people are complete strangers.
He asks about his parents, his friends. Nobody's even heard of them. His childhood home. Just dust and ruins.
Can you imagine that feeling?
Yeah.
Utter confusion, total overwhelm, adrift in a time that's just raced past him. The story says only silence knew his name. Everything, everyone, vanished.
And in that moment, just utter desolation, confusion, maybe a desperate shred of hope, he forgets the promise.
He sits down on a rock by the sea, completely lost, and he opens that mysterious box.
Out comes this. Silver mist, swirling, ethereal, almost like a breath.
And then the story delivers the punchline, chillingly simple. Time, long held at bay, returned all at once.
In seconds, right there on the rock, Taro transforms. His back bends, his hair turns white, wrinkles just carve themselves into his skin. He becomes an old, old man.
And then, poof, the mist is gone, as if it never was.
Wow. What a powerful, almost brutal ending to what started as such a wondrous tale. And yeah, on the surface, you get those clear lessons, don't you?
Definitely, like time waits for no one, or curiosity killed the cat, maybe.
Right, or maybe something about kindness having ripple effects, even if the reward is complicated.
True. But now, let's dig a bit deeper, okay? Let's move beyond just the surface story, because, wow, there's so much more here about us, about being human.
Okay, so the Dragon Palace, Ryugu. It's not just some fairy tale castle under the sea.
Well, allegorically speaking, maybe not. It could be seen as this really potent symbol for a desire we all kind of share, don't we? That wish for, like, eternal pleasure.
Or maybe freedom from suffering. just escaping time and change altogether.
Exactly. Think about those amazing times, a perfect holiday, a great party, and you just think, oh, I wish this could last forever.
Yeah, or when things are tough and you just want to hide away somewhere where problems don't exist. A perfect worry-free zone.
Right. But the story seems to hint, doesn't it, that this time-forgetting state in the palace, this perfect escape, it's maybe an illusion.
Like it's temporary, born from our wishing, but not like real freedom.
Possibly. It just postpones dealing with reality, maybe. It doesn't actually stop the clock outside the palace walls.
Which brings us to time itself. This contrast between his experience days feeling like moments and then, bam, reality hits.
It's such a stark illustration of this fundamental truth, isn't it? Everything changes. Nothing stays the same.
Not us, not the world around us. It's always in flux.
It's a core idea in lots of philosophies, this concept of impermanence. And Taro's return, it just hammers it home. Time is irreversible.
He experiences that change so directly, so painfully, feeling completely left behind by time's relentless flow.
Yeah, it's a really powerful image of how you just can't hold on to things forever. Nothing can truly be grasped and kept.
Okay, so what about the box, the Tamatebako? It's obviously key.
Yeah.
More than just a forbidden object.
Oh, absolutely. If we look deeper, it really feels like a symbol of holding on to the past, clinging.
Ah, okay, so picture Taro on that rock. He's devastated. He might be thinking,
How do I get back? How do I undo this? Maybe this box holds the key. Maybe I can see the princess again or my old life.
he's desperate for something certain, something familiar, something back.
Exactly. And that powerful urge to get back what's gone or just to refuse to accept the change that's happened. That's pretty much what we mean by clinging here.
It's like an emotional fist, trying to hold on to smoke.
Mm.
People, moments, or younger selves,
Mm.
things that are inherently transient.
Right. And when he opens that box, that rush of old age, the silver mist, it isn't just some random magic curse. It's the consequence. It's the cost of time crashing down because he couldn't let go.
Because he clung to the past, or the escape, instead of facing the present, however painful.
Precisely. It's such a vivid, almost gut-wrenching image of how suffering can arise simply because we couldn't release our grip. That box held the very aging he'd avoided, and by opening it because he was clinging, he unleashed it on himself.
Okay, this raises a really interesting point, though. Taro did a good thing, right? Saving the turtle. That was pure kindness.
Totally. No question.
And he got this amazing reward, the palace. But the story seems to show that even good deeds, if you then get stuck on the reward or try to recapture the past associated with it, it can still lead to trouble.
Exactly. It suggests that maybe true freedom in this deeper sense isn't just about the good actions themselves. It's also about not getting stuck on the results or the memories or resisting what comes next.
So you could almost see Taro's story as, well, a tragedy. The tragedy of someone who experienced something incredible but couldn't quite wake up to the bigger reality of change.
Yeah, perhaps. It shows how even positive experiences can become a kind of trap if we fixate on them, if we cling.
So, okay, bringing this home, what does this ancient story mean for us, living our lives today?
Well, Taro's journey, sad as it is, really mirrors things we all experience, doesn't it? We all find ourselves missing the past sometimes.
Oh, for sure. Dwelling on what ifs, right? What if I'd done that differently? Or feeling anxious about the future because we're scared of losing what we have now.
That urge to rewind, go back to being younger, or wishing a perfect moment could last forever, it's the same fundamental feeling that made Taro reach for that box.
It's just the human condition, laid bare. We crave stability, familiarity, but life just is change. Constant flow.
Think about how we sometimes cling to things, maybe an old identity after a job loss, or replaying a past relationship in our minds years later.
That's our own Tamatebako we're carrying around.
Exactly. And the core message here, I think, is profound, but also incredibly simple, really. It's about trying to live fully in the present, now.
It's about accepting what is, maybe, not endlessly wrestling with what you've lost or what might happen.
Letting go of that tight grip. The box becomes this metaphor for all the old thoughts, regrets, desires, maybe even fears that we lug around, often without even noticing.
So connecting this to our everyday lives, the story kind of gives us a choice, doesn't it?
Oh.
Every day, really.
It does. We can keep holding on to the past, keep opening that metaphorical box and dealing with the fallout of resisting reality. Or we can consciously try to release it, to loosen that grip, to accept the flow.
That's a really powerful way to frame it, something to actually take away and think about. Because at that Tamatebako, It isn't just some mythical MacGuffin in an old story.
No, it feels like a symbol of the human heart itself, doesn't it? Always tempted to hold on to moments, memories, desires.
And maybe in doing that, we miss the richness, the reality of what's right here, right now.
And what if? What if the story is right? What if, by truly learning to let go just a little bit, the suffering starts to ease?
Leaving behind just the simple reality of the present. Like the story ends, almost.
Yeah.
Just the sound of the waves.
It's definitely a question worth asking yourself, isn't it? What boxes, what attachments from the past might you be holding on to, and could they be stopping you from fully experiencing what is right now?